I hid my identity as a wealthy heir, romancing the aloof campus beauty for 3 years, but just when I was about to succeed, I turned my attention to the richest man's daughter instead. The system couldn't help but advise me. Host, your progress in winning over Lu Ruyan has already reached 99%. Wouldn't it be a pity to change targets now? I sneered. Little system, do you know what the Pinduoduo effect is? The remaining 1% is actually equal to infinity. Just last night, I booked an entire restaurant to propose to her, but in the end, on top of the mountain, I waited in the rain all night, only to see her post on Moments a photo of her affectionately holding hands with her senior. The open gift boxes beside them were expensive jewelry and designer bags. The caption read, "As time goes by, true love remains unchanged." I commented below, "Didn't you say you didn't like money?" But received a private message from her scolding me. Poor loser, stay out of my moments. I threw away the cake and flowers, resolutely gave up the 99% strategy progress, and applied to the system to change my target to the richest man's daughter. I agree to your marriage proposal. After being blocked by Lu Ruyan, I called my childhood friend, the richest man's daughter, from my contacts. "Hello, does what you said before about liking me still count? I accept your marriage proposal." The woman on the other end of the phone was ecstatic, her voice almost breaking from excitement. "Why wouldn't it? It definitely counts. Wait, I'm catching a flight to come see you right now. We'll arrange the engagement immediately." After hanging up, the system asked me, "Your progress in winning over Lu Ruyan has already reached 99%. Wouldn't it be a pity to change targets now?" I looked at the empty mountaintop restaurant, recalling my night of waiting in vain, and sneered, "Since the one she loves isn't me, then there's no point in continuing this strategy." I went down the mountain in the dim morning light and returned to school. Just as I entered the campus gates, a red supercar roared past me, brushing right by my side, splashing me all over with mud. The supercar suddenly stopped. The senior who had just appeared in Lu Ruyan's Moments got out from the driver's seat. Seeing my pathetic, disheveled state, he apologized, looking somewhat embarrassed. "Sorry about that, underclassman. I didn't see anyone by the road. I didn't mean to dirty your clothes." I wiped my face with my hand. Before I could say anything, Lu Ruyan stepped out of the car. She looked me up and down and said with a frown, "Senior didn't do it on purpose. He was just in a hurry to drop me off at school, so he drove a bit fast. Don't be petty and hold it against him." I nodded indifferently and kept walking. Seeing me turn and leave without a word, Lu Ruyan suddenly called out to me, "I still have something for you to do. Wait for me." She and the senior hugged in front of me for a full minute before finally parting reluctant. Lu Ruyan finally bothered to spare me a glance. She disgustedly threw a handkerchief at my face. "Look at how sloppy you are. Hurry up and wipe your hands. Help me carry these shopping bags back to the dorm." I silently clenched the pure white handkerchief for a moment, then tossed it into the trash can and said coldly, "I have things to do. Carry them back yourself." Lu Ruyan was a little puzzled. What could you possibly have to do that's more important than me? Her gaze fell on my right hand, on the small box I was clutching tightly. She snatched it away without a word. "What is this? A diamond ring? So the reason you asked me to the mountaintop restaurant tonight was for this?" I nodded. "I suppose so." Lu Ruyan gave a disdainful smile. "Proposing to me with a fake like this? Did you lose your mind from getting hit by a car? Out of all the jewelry senior gave me, any single piece would be enough to buy 100 of your so-called diamond rings." I didn't argue. I reached out to take the diamond ring back. Lu Ruyan coldly slipped the ring onto her ring finger, while mocking me, "A cheap trinket nobody wants. It's made quite delicately though." I directly took the ring off her hand and threw it away, tossing it straight into the bushes without a trace. Lu Ruyan stared at me with a stunned expression. "I never said it was for you. It's just trash to be thrown away." She yelled, "Shiza, have you gone crazy? Stop right there." I ignored her exasperated outburst and walked straight away. That very day, I moved back into my luxury apartment near the school. During all these years with Lu Ruyan, the reason I never revealed my identity was because when I first received the system's order to win her over, she acted like an aloof and pure white lotus. To coax her into giving me a second glance, I once tentatively gifted her a pair of expensive high heels. After receiving them, although happy, she also said angrily, "Shiza, what kind of person do you take me for? I'm not a gold digger. I don't care that much about money. I value a sincere heart more. As long as you treat me well, that's enough." I took her words to heart, believing her without any doubt, keeping my identity vaguely hidden until now, just so she wouldn't misunderstand. But I never thought that those were just her hypocritical words. At this time, I was busy ordering new furniture for the apartment online. Suddenly, I received a picture sent by Lu Ruyan. It was a necklace worth 7 figures. She sent a message saying, "Senior said he will buy this necklace for me in the future to make me the happiest woman in the world." I understood she was showing off how well Senior treated her. To recover the face she lost in front of me earlier, I sneered and didn't reply to her. Instead, I directly contacted sales and had them reserve this globally limited edition necklace for me, then sent it directly to my childhood friend who I was about to get engaged to, Li Xia. In the afternoon, as I stepped into the classroom, people were loudly discussing, "Hey, did you guys hear? Campus beauty Lu Ruyan arrived at school in a supercar this morning. I heard the driver was a senior from our school who worked abroad for 3 years and has a successful career. He was Lu Ruyan's crush back in the day. Isn't this blatantly cuckolding Shiza? But looking at his poor state, he was never worthy of the campus beauty anyway. Getting her was purely dumb luck." I didn't care. But when I entered the classroom, a crowd had already gathered around Lu Ruyan. She was holding a large, flamboyant bouquet of pink roses, smiling sweetly. Her best friend said enviously, "Senior is so generous to you, giving you such expensive flowers without a second thought." Lu Ruyan saw me walk in. Her expression turned cold, and she said with a hint of annoyance, "Shiza, did the rain ruin your brain yesterday?" "I'm perfectly fine," I replied plainly. "Enough, Shiza. I didn't mean to stand you up last night. It's rare for Senior to come back to the country. country. I naturally had to accommodate his schedule. At worst, I'll spare an hour for you tonight. Is there any point in throwing a tantrum? This was the first time in the 3 years I've known Lu Ruyan that she actively sought to make peace with me. But hearing this, I only paused and rejected. No need. I have other things to do tonight. You can keep accompanying your senior. Saying that, I turned and left. On my way back, I suddenly got a call. So I headed to the airport to pick up Li Xia, who was arriving. When both sets of parents discussed the engagement, my dad, seeing that I had finally come to my senses and agreed to the marriage, was beyond thrilled, insisting the engagement party had to be grand, booking the largest venue, inviting the most guests, preferably letting the whole city know. I just ate silently, without voicing any objections. However, before the dinner was even over, Lu Ruyan called me several times in a row, urging me to come see her immediately. When I finally finished eating and went over at my own pace, her brows were already deeply furrowed, and she asked impatiently, I haven't seen you around anywhere recently. What have you been busy with? I brushed her off casually. What else could I be busy with? Busy working part-time to make money. Lu Ruyan frowned and sized me up for a long time, not sure what she was thinking, but her expression actually softened a bit. Shiza, how long has it been since you spent proper time with me? How can you be a boyfriend? Do I have to teach you that too? Lu Ruyan's tone held a hint of a spoiled wine. It seemed she noticed my cold attitude and was making a rare gesture of goodwill, leaning against me softly, like she had no bones. But the moment she got close, I smelled a strong, rich fragrance, completely different from the crisp cedar scent I usually caught from her. It was the special custom perfume that Senior Wei Dong had intentionally or unintentionally shown off on moments. Without hesitation, I took 2 steps back to distance myself. I'm tired. Maybe another day. This time, Lu Ruyan was completely stunned. She didn't expect the excuse she used to use would come out of my mouth this time. She pursed her lips tightly. What do you mean? Shiza, are you still holding a grudge over me standing you up last time? Didn't I already explain it to you? I didn't think a grown man like you could be so petty. My patience has limits. I'm not holding a grudge, I stated honestly. But Lu Ruyan looked completely unconvinced. Suppressing her emotions, she was about to say something when Senior suddenly called her. Over the phone, the man's deep voice said, I saw a very beautiful evening dress. I think it would suit you. Do you want to come over and try it on? I can help see if it fits. Lu Ruyan hung up the phone and glanced at me. She quickly said, I have school club activities, and just left me there and walked away. I stood in place, watching her back. I sold the small apartment and switched to a bigger house because I was busy arranging the engagement. I rarely appeared at school these past few days. At night, I received a call from Lu Ruyan's number. After picking up, it was surprisingly a man's voice. Is this Shiza? Ruyan is drunk. Can you come take her back to school? No need to guess. It was that lingering Senior Wei Dong again. Why are you calling that poor loser? I don't want him to take me. I want you to take me, Senior. Lu Ruyan mumbled, snatching the phone to stop the man from talking. But a moment later, she still sent her location and a message via WeChat. When you come, bring me some clean underwear. I understood the purpose behind Lu Ruyan making this call. She was using her usual trick to bait my competitive spirit, but I still went. Arriving at that KTV, I pushed open the private room door. When she saw me, she was very impatient. Didn't I tell you not to come? Everywhere I go, you have to follow and watch me. Why don't you just put a leash on me? Her senior, Wei Dong, gave a somewhat doting yet helpless smile. I sent the message. You're drunk. It's dangerous to go home alone this late. She walked toward me with a cold face. Where are the clothes you brought me? I shrugged. I didn't buy any. After all, Senior is here. It wouldn't seem right for me to do that. Lu Ruyan furrowed her brows at me. What do you mean by that? I didn't speak. Turned around, walked out the door and to my car. Lu Ruyan suddenly grabbed the senior, who was about to leave. Senior, let me stay at your hotel. It's too late now. The school dorms are definitely closed. I nodded in agreement. That's right. The school dorms really do close at 11 p.m. Lu Ruyan gave me a surprised look, but still silently pulled Wei Dong inside the car. On the way to drop them at the hotel, I received a call from Li Xia. Li Xia asked me why one of the engagement invitations she painstakingly wrote was missing. I took it. I'm giving it to someone. Lu Ruyan heard this from the back seat. What are you giving? To whom? You'll know in a bit. After arriving at the hotel entrance, Lu Ruyan noticed my car model and scoffed disdainfully. Where did you rent this car? It must cost quite a bit for a day. She then looked at my outfit from head to toe. Are these clothes knockoffs you dug up from some street stall? I didn't answer, which she took as a tacit admission. Lu Ruyan poked my forehead as she spoke. Shiza, with economic conditions like this, you still delusionally want to marry me. You're simply daydreaming. Me favoring you is a blessing from 8 lifetimes. Don't be ungrateful. I ignored her, simply turned around, took out an engagement invitation, and handed it to her. I'm getting engaged tomorrow. If you have time, you can come and take a seat. Lu Ruyan's movements paused. She didn't take that red piece of paper. After a moment, she slapped it away. The invitation fell to the ground. She cursed in a low voice. Are you sick in the head, Shiza? Why get engaged out of the blue? If you want to get my attention, please use an excuse that isn't so easily exposed. Saying that, she entered the hotel without looking back. I silently picked up the invitation from the ground and turned to leave. The next day, after the engagement banquet started, while waiting in my suit, I saw Lu Ruyan post on Moments. In the picture, she was wearing a formal dress, holding Wei Dong's arm. The two dressed like they were attending a banquet. Her caption read, "Thank you, Senior, for the dress. I will definitely accompany you well today to your business partner's engagement. I won't embarrass you." From the hotel and decorations in the background, I immediately recognized it was my engagement party. Right after Lu Ruyan posted this, she sent me a private message, still bossing me around like usual. Shiza, come pick me up after the engagement party ends. Bring my cleaned flat shoes in jacket. Since you know you aren't as rich as Senior, you should at least know how to serve well. If you don't know your place, I will dump you in front of the entire school. I sneered. And without hesitation, blocked Lu Ruyan on both phone and WeChat. When the MC announced the groom and bride-to-be, I held my fiancé's hand and slowly walked out. The bright spotlights shone on us, shining brilliantly on the diamond necklace around Li Xia's neck. It was exactly the one Lu Ruyan wanted most. Meanwhile, offstage, holding her senior's hand and chatting happily with him was Lu Ruyan. After catching a glimpse of me and the woman beside me on stage, her face suddenly turned pale. Wei Dong was equally shocked. Sheza. Lu Ruyan subconsciously took a few steps forward. She stared intently at my face. Her suddenly raised voice trembled. How could it be Shiza? Lu Ruyan suspected she was seeing things, repeatedly confirming it. The surrounding guests were drawn by her commotion and looked over with varying degrees of dissatisfaction. She realized she was making a scene and could only sit down for now. Wei Dong beside her was even paler. He never expected that the grimy lackey who used to trail behind Lu Ruyan would turn out to be the young master of the Lu group and was now marrying the richest man's daughter. He turned to ask Lu Ruyan, "What is going on? Who exactly is Shiza?" Lu Ruyan gritted her teeth and shook her head. She couldn't wait to rush over and confront me after the banquet. "Shiza, you're actually two-timing me, hooking up with another woman behind my back and getting engaged too. I never thought you were this kind of person." I felt like I was hearing a very funny joke. Do we really need to say aloud things we both tacitly understand? What difference is there between how we were before and breaking up? You're the one who wronged me first, celebrating your birthday with another man, staying out overnight, even attending banquets as a couple. Anyone who didn't know would think Wei Dong was your boyfriend. Lu Ruyan was speechless, pointing at me. It took her half a minute to force out her next sentence. Then why did you suddenly become the young master of the Lu group? There's nothing sudden about it. My dad has always been the chairman of the Lu group. I pretended not to understand the implication of her words. Wei Dong hurried over and pulled Lu Ruyan aside. I raised the wine glass in my hand, and before he could speak, I said with a smile, "We just said goodbye last night, and we're meeting again today. We really are destined, aren't we?" "Senior, my dad is the biggest client of Wei Dong's company, and the customer he had to try his best to win over and maintain on this trip back." Wei Dong's expression became visibly awful. His gaze circled between me and Lu Ruyan. He weighed his options and praised without hesitation. "Young Master Lu has a great eye. Your fiancé is very beautiful." "Thank you. Your girlfriend is very beautiful too." At this moment, Li Xia walked over. She naturally hooked her arm through mine. "Are these two your friends?" I shook my head. "Not that close." I turned and left with Li Xia, not sparing the two behind me another glance. After everyone dispersed, I went to the parking lot to drive Li Xia home, but saw Lu Ruyan hadn't left yet. Seeing me approach, she said, "Sheza, where are my shoes? Didn't I tell you to bring them to me? I'm very cold right now. Will you walk me back to get them?" "Sorry, I have to take my fiancé home. I'm busy." Getting into the car, Li Xia could see I was in a somewhat bad mood. She didn't say anything. She just held my hand and quietly accompanied me. She knew I had liked Lu Ruyan in the past, and that I had rejected her confession because of Lu Ruyan. "If you're upset, you can talk to me about it. Don't worry about me. I will always wait for you." After a moment, I held her hand back and smiled at her. "Rest assured, I've already let her go. There is absolutely no possibility left between us." After changing the target, the mission went very smoothly. Our families processed our paperwork to go abroad. Soon after, we would head to the UK together to study. But before this semester ended, I still had to go to school to finish the last few weeks of classes. The news of my engagement spread throughout the city, and I no longer deliberately hid my identity. When I returned to class, my classmates looked at me completely differently than before. They all came to cozy up to me, patting my shoulder, saying, "Sheza, why didn't you tell us earlier that you're a rich kid?" "Yeah, if you had said so earlier, you could have had your pick of the campus beauties. Why suffer bitterly trailing behind someone as a lackey? This must be the sister-in-law, right? So beautiful." Her face and figure don't lose to the campus beauty at all. Li Xia's coursework was already over, so she simply stayed at school, accompanying me to class. Between classes, Li Xia was thirsty. I went with her to the vending machine to buy water. Lu Ruyan squeezed in between us, forcefully pushing us apart. She used her old tone and said, "Shiza, I want water. Buy it for me." I selected the drink she wanted, paid for it readily, but didn't give it to her. Instead, I bypassed her and handed it to Li Xia, because that was Li Xia's favorite flavor. I was going to give it to her anyway. Lu Ruyan looked quite comical with her hand frozen in the air. In the end, it was Li Xia who bailed her out, kindly giving her own bottle to the other woman. "You take this one." I looked at Li Xia in surprise and asked, "Why are you so generous? I was worried you'd be jealous." Li Xia hugged me, grinning, "Because I know you'll buy me another one." Lu Ruyan stood there, watching our retreating backs, her face turning pale. After this continued for about a week, she finally couldn't stand it anymore. She found a chance and cornered me in an empty storage room. "Sheza, this joke has gone on long enough. It's not funny at all. When are you planning to end this farce?" Lu Ruyan actually thought I was joking with her. I brushed her hand away and said coldly, "Wake up. If you're really lonely, go find Wei Dong. I don't have that much time to waste on you. If you see me again, please pretend you don't know me." Lu Ruyan grabbed me fiercely, her eyes actually turning a little red. She said in disbelief, "Sheza, you were the one who originally said you liked me. That's why I got together with you. And now you want me to pretend I don't know you?" I looked at her seriously. "For 3 years, I gave you my whole heart. I never did anything to betray you. I also once hoped we could be together and grow old. But what happened? What did I get in return? You never looked at me properly, always treating me like someone unimportant, taking all my sacrifices for granted. I'm a bit tired." Lu Ruyan lowered her head. When she spoke again, her voice was choked. "Tomorrow is our 3rd anniversary. Can't you at least spend it with me first? Her words carried a plea, but I didn't soften at all. I don't have time. Tomorrow is Shia's birthday. I have to spend it with her. Sorry. Lu Ruyan's eyes instantly dimmed. I received a WeChat friend request sent from her alt account. After accepting, the other party took half a day before sending a photo. It was the only photo of just the two of us taken while we were dating. Do you remember? This was our first date. Tomorrow I will wait for you at the place we agreed on our first date. I have something to say to you. Come see me, okay? No need to guess. I could tell who was on the other end. I turned off my phone screen. Li Shia happened to bring the food she cooked to the table. She rested her chin on her hands and watched me pick it up and asked, "Is it good?" I nodded without hesitation. Why hadn't I noticed her cooking was so amazing before? It perfectly suited my taste. I casually snapped a picture of the food and posted it on Moments with the caption, "My wife's cooking is the most delicious in the world." I hadn't blocked Lu Ruyan's alt account. She must have already seen it. To celebrate Li Shia's birthday, I went with her to the amusement park. But while waiting for her at the entrance, I saw Lu Ruyan. She was actually wearing the exact same clothes from our first date. She didn't dare come close, just watched from afar. I just pretended not to see her. After picking up Li Shia, we played all the rides in the park together and posted photos on Moments, experiencing for the first time a relationship where every matter has a response. I was extremely happy. When we were about to leave, Lu Ruyan was still waiting at the entrance. Seeing my frown, Li Shia took the initiative to walk over and talk to her. After hearing a few words from Li Shia, a look of shock suddenly appeared on her face. Then, looking at me in a daze, she seemed to seek confirmation. Really? She stood there with her head bowed for a moment and then slowly left. I asked Li Shia what she had said. Li Shia replied, "I told her we are going abroad together soon and won't be back for at least 3 years, or we might even settle abroad permanently." I asked her, "Do you like the weather in the UK? If you like it, we really can stay there for a long time." Li Shia said with a smile, "I was just saying that earlier. I will miss my mom and dad." I hugged her and said gently, "Whatever you say." Li Shia and I moved in together. After the semester ended, we traveled to many places domestically. I never blocked Lu Ruyan's alt account, and without exception, posted selected travel photos to Moments. Suddenly one day, my dad told me he had canceled the partnership with Wei Dong's company, causing their company to lose its biggest piece of business. Wei Dong's life probably won't be very easy now. I looked at him in confusion, not knowing why he suddenly brought this up. He patted my shoulder with a proud look. "Did you think those grievances you suffered before your old man wouldn't know about? You two were at each other's throats from the first time you met. So I asked someone to investigate Wei Dong. It just so happened their company wasn't clean either. I got angry and fired them. I avenged you, huh?" Son, I was a bit torn between laughing and crying. But my dad is 100 times sharper than me in business. He definitely wouldn't make impulsive decisions, so I wasn't worried at all. The day we went abroad, I didn't inform anyone. Only our parents saw Li Shia and me onto the plane, accompanied by blue skies and white clouds all the way. We arrived smoothly in the UK and started a new life. Li Shia is someone who loves to travel, so I accompanied her to many European countries. Our relationship was very good, plus the tacit understanding of being childhood friends for over 10 years, and many similar hobbies. Therefore, after finishing our studies and graduating, we naturally proceeded to the stage of marriage. Another 2 years passed. Li Shia got pregnant. Upon hearing this news, both sets of parents were pleasantly surprised because they kept talking about wanting to see their grandchild. After Li Shia recovered her health, our family of 3 returned to live in the country together. We settled down in the city where we went to university and occasionally ran into some old classmates. While attending a class reunion once, the person sitting next to me suddenly nudged me and whispered to me, "Shiza, did you know? After you went abroad, Lu Ruyan was in a trance all day for a while. Heartbroken. She even got sent to the hospital for taking pills. As a result, she was forced by the teachers to suspend her studies for a year. Later, she barely recovered to normal and started desperately dating men again, but none lasted more than 3 months. A few years ago, she found a guy of a similar age. She chased him like crazy, insisting on marrying that guy." Other classmates asked curiously, "What happened then?" Then he saw that she was pretty and agreed quite readily. But Lu Ruyan was still too hasty, not realizing at all that the guy had a completely different personality from you. He was a total playboy. He cheated as soon as she got pregnant, but he refuses to get a divorce. As soon as the words fell, the door to the private room opened. It was the class reunion and the belated Lu Ruyan. She had a cloth sling on her back, carrying a child inside it, dressed entirely plainly, her past flamboyant beauty completely gone. The moment she saw me, her eyes flickered, but she quickly greeted me naturally. "You're back in the country." I nodded in response. Throughout the gathering, she sat far away from me, only approaching to chat a bit after it ended. "Are you and Li Shia doing well?" "We're very happy." Her eyes revealed a mix of envy and jealousy. Soon, I knew why she was like this, because her husband came to the hotel where we gathered and loudly scolded her. Instead of cooking, doing laundry, and watching the kid at home, "You just had to run here to show off." Then he grabbed her by the ear and took her away. Lu Ruyan cried out in pain, but didn't dare to resist at all. Instead, she clung to her husband like a lifeline, quietly begging him to treat her a little better. Just as I was frowning, looking at her obviously unstable mental state, someone suddenly thumped my chest. It was Li Shia, who worried it would rain and drove over to pick me up. Looking at me with puffed up cheeks, I said defensively, "Why are you hitting me?" Li Shia turned around. "Who were you looking at?" "I wasn't looking at her. I was just feeling lucky to have met you," I said earnestly. Li Shia instantly broke into a smile, took my hand and said, "Let's go home." I nodded. Stars twinkled in the night sky. The night breeze brought bursts of refreshing coolness. Countless ordinary days actually contain the most precious happiness. Congratulations, host. Strategy mission completion is at 100%. System 08 will now detach, wishing you in front of the screen to grow old together with the one you love.